Hi there, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my Not Too Shabby design team project for this week. I will put the link below for all of the products that I share, and if you do head over to make a purchase at Not Too Shabby, you can use my coupon code CraftyGirl to save 10% on your order. So I'm going to be making this cute little scene card today, and I thought it would be so cute for that little Yeti to be pulling the sled with a little piece of kind of like twine rope, and I just think this is such a sweet little wintry card. So I'm going to show you the products first that I'll be using today, and then I'll get right into the process video for how I made it. So to start out with, I used this sugar coating glitter by Doodlebug and this quickie glue pen, and it's kind of like a pen that has glue that comes out of it, so I use that for all of the sparkle. I also used some 4mm clear sequins and some blue twine, and I found this at my Dollarama, and it was only $1.25, which was a great deal for all those twines. I also used some paper pads. I used this MFT watercolor one and also the Lawn Fawn Perfectly Plaid Chill 6x6 paper pad, and both of these are in stock, so I'll have those linked below. I also used this Yeti set. It is by Neat and Tangled. It is so stinking cute, and I just love all the little elements on here for making scene cards. So I used the sled and the dog, the Yeti, the sentiment, and also that cute little log cabin. Then I used a die set that was actually from the spring. It's a little spring scene builder, but it actually was so cute for the little hill because I wanted it to be almost like he's going to take that little dog up the hill. So I used that little hill there, and it came in handy for this card. I also used my Your Next Stamp rectangle stitch dies. I used the largest and the second largest ones for the background. So here's another close-up look, and you can see all of the glitter on there. So let's get started with the stamping out of the images. So first off, I'm going to stamp out all of my little images here on Recollections cardstock, and the cardstock is 120 pounds. And I also used the Memento Tuxedo Black ink there. So I'm stamping out that little puppy. He is so cute. I love that he has those little antlers on there. And I just stamped each of the images out on a scratch piece of paper before I stamped the good one, because sometimes you just need to condition your stamp sets before you use them, and this was one of them, so I just stamped a little practice out on my other cardstock piece off to the side there. So I've got all of my little images, and now I'm going to color them up. I'll be using my Copic markers today, and the colors that I'm going to do for the little scarf here is B28 and B24. And I thought this would be a cute color to match that plaid color that I use for the background paper. Then for the little dog, I'm using E57 for his little ears and those little spots that he has on him and his tail. I'm using E55, and then I go in with E50. Actually, I think I just blend that out with E55. And then for the antlers, I use E55 and E53. And if you wanted to use this for a winter card, you could definitely just trim off the little antlers and cut on the line, and he would be perfect for a winter project. Then for the little sled, I'm using E59. And I just think this sled's cute because there's a whole bunch of different little critters in this set, and you could put the little snowman or penguin or the dog sitting on it, and it's really sweet that you can have them kind of like being pulled by the little Yeti. And I blended this sled out with E57 and E55, and then I took my black jelly pen just for the eyes and nose of the little dog, and then I put 3 white dots on the little cheek of the dog there, and then also a few little pieces of dimension there on the sled. I just did a few little accents. For the log cabin, I used E59 and E57, and then I blended out with E55. And I like how the little log cabin is small, so you can put it at the far back point of your card, and it makes it look like it has nice dimension on the card because it looks like the cabin's far away. And it's cute too. There's like little smoke coming out of the chimney, like there's someone inside there keeping warm. Then for the little Yeti, I'm using B00, and my B00 was actually running low, so I just ended up using the B000, and then I just went over the whole little face and then shaded out the part that I wanted to be darker twice. And then for his little cheeks, I used RV10. And then with the black jelly pen for his eyes and nose. And again, 3 little white dots on his cheeks, just like the puppy. I always think that looks so cute. Then I used W1, which is a warm gray color, and I'm just adding some little accents where all of those little bits were on his fur. And now we can cut these out. There is coordinating dies for these, so I'll have that linked below for you. And I'm just using my sewing scissors. This one was actually pretty tricky to cut out the little reindeer ears, so this would be a good one for using a die set for. So I'm just going to trim these out, and before I did, I just quickly took my white jelly pen and added a few accents on the cabin, and I also added some little white polka dots on the scarf of that little puppy. The Yeti was super easy to trim out, and the sled was pretty easy as well. It was just the little puppy that was kind of tricky with the antlers. And then I'm just going to trim out the little log cabin, and then we can do the bases of our card. So I'm taking that blue paper and cutting out the largest sized with the stitch rectangle, and then I cut out this blue paper and white paper using the second largest size. And then I take this little slope and I move it down so that I can leave the stitching on this paper and then just kind of position it how I want. And I wanted to have a good amount of that white there so that it looks really snowy. Now I'm just going to take a little piece of white cardstock and trim it out to the size of a 2-sized card base that I had there. And I'm just going to adhere it down with my ATG gun there. And that's going to be the background base is the white. And then I'm going to take that blue and put that on there. And I think it pops really nicely with the white behind it. And then I'm putting down that watercolor background. And also I decided I wanted to add some blue twine there. So I just lifted it up and I'm just going to set the blue twine there behind it. And then I can add on a little bow. And there was a little bit of empty space at the top of this card. So I thought the bow would be perfect at the top there with some twine. And I always fuss about with my little bows. And then I can just trim off the excess at the bottom there. Now I'm just going to add on this little slope here. And I can start to add on my little bits. So I want the Yeti to be pulling that little puppy. And so I'm taking some of that blue twine and I'm going to have it kind of behind the sled like it's being pulled by the little Yeti. So I just add some adhesive on the back of the sled and line the twine along the bottom there and then stick it down. And I just take my sewing scissors and cut right on that black line there, and then I can stick the little twine in his arms. And I wasn't sure if I wanted it to be across both arms, and I did cut open his other arm as well, but I decided after that I just wanted it to be the one arm, because when I put it through both, it kind of looked like it was wrapped around his belly, and I didn't really like that. I wanted to just make it look like his arm was pulling it. So I left a little bit extra kind of scrunched to the side there, and then I just added a little knot so it looks like there was a little end piece of that twine and trimmed it off, and I think that looks so cute. Now I'm going to add on my sentiment, and I'm using the sentiment from the set. It says, "It's Christmas time here." I think that's what it says. And I'm just moving up the twine so that it won't be in the way when I stamp it down. Oh, it says it's Christmas time again, which is super cute. And then I decided to just move the little bow over to the right a little bit. And then I decided I wanted it to be glittered up. In quite a few of my videos recently, I've been using my glue pen here and also some Doodlebug shimmery glitter just to add it a nice snow, like it looks like it's snowed and there's a nice powdering of it on the card. So it's a nice way too, if there's some kind of like empty spots, it just makes the card look more filled up. So I'm just adding that on, and I added on a little bit on top of the cottage so it looked like the snow fell on it, and also the little antlers and a little bit on the Yeti as well. Then I'm going to just funnel that back into the glitter jar there, and I'm just going to take some 4mm clear sequins and just add those on for a little bit more dimension. And I put a little bit of adhesive behind the bow so that it would stay exactly how I wanted it. I just put some behind each of the little top parts of the bow and also the little ribbon that's hanging there. And I'm just adding on some little sequins just to fill in that little blank area right there, and also just to make it a little bit sparkly. And you could make this card with any of the little critters on the sled if you wanted to put the little penguin, or there's also a cute little bird that you could have on the shoulder or the head of the little Yeti. So that was my project for this week. I hope that you guys enjoyed. I will put all the links for the products that I shared below. If you haven't, please make sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye now.